Nathan, I know you deleted Instagram. I'm not sure
Yep,
if you re-downloaded it, but you said you were going to get back on our social media train.
I did. I've got to influence people towards 3 a.m. in the afternoon, so I did reinstall it. But
Yes,
I've not relogged into my personal account, so it's kind of
you're
an in
not an
between state.
influencer yet.
Yeah,
Um, well, there's a new feature which I've told you about on the sly off the pod a little bit, which is
on the
Instagram
sly. Yeah,
Notes. I'm sure you're a bit familiar, but it's like I would say it's like tweeting from Instagram, but you can
yeah.
only tweet once per day and you
It's
only get 60 characters.
it's kind of like a mix between Twitter and Be Real, if that makes any sense.
Sure. And that will not make sense to people over the age of
Who don't
25.
know? If you don't know what Be Real is, then you're kind of out of luck. But yeah, you got it because it goes away over time, right? It doesn't keep a
Yes,
log of okay.
it does. It goes away after 24 hours, as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
And you can delete them if you don't like what you put. I think it's intended as sort of a status update for your account.
Kind of the original Twitter, or even more
Yes.
accurately, probably more original like Facebook, where it's like you
Uh-huh.
updated your status or whatever,
Yeah.
like you just said.
And that's certainly an honorable purpose. And
Mhm,
I gotta say, I have not used it in that form at all.
mhm.
Um,
How are you
I
using it?
I am using it. I actually really like it
Okay.
because maybe it's because I actually have followers on Instagram, but
Okay. All right.
on Twitter,
Big
I
deal,
don't
Ryan
I
Ruby.
don't tweet at all. I
Mhm.
don't really use Twitter to do anything except look at tweets.
Yes.
But here on Instagram, I can just put a random thought onto this note, knowing that it's gonna go away in 24 hours, and
Knowing that
also
it,
that
it won't be tied to you long
sure,
term,
yeah,
that sort of thing.
yeah, you would not believe the stuff I'm putting on here.
Yeah. I mean, you got to follow Ryan if you're not already. I mean, I'm frankly surprised he's not gone off the platform. For example, what kind of things are you putting on here?
I mean,
What do you got right now? Because
so
from what I've heard, you're a prolific noter. If I don't know if
I
that's
I am a
right.
prolific noter.
You
When it
basically
first
got
came out,
something
I
up.
was noting at least once a day.
Wow.
So at least every day I had one of these up.
Mhm.
I've kind of slacked in the past couple days because
That's
it
disappointing.
takes a toll for sure.
Okay.
You know, you you attract a following, you
Mhm.
attract sort of expectations for
Yeah.
your content, and then you don't. You sort of hit a roadblock.
Then everyone's anticipating greatness all the time. It's
Yeah,
like, look, this takes
it's really
work.
the
All
pressure
right.
is kind of overwhelming at
Yeah.
times. Um,
Imagine
so I
only
took
to
a
be
step
compared
back.
with. Yeah. I mean, you know what Simone Biles had. That
Yes,
probably not quite the same.
I think
Uh,
what they call the twisties in
yes.
Instagram,
Yeah. It's yeah.
and right now my note is a lyric from the song "I'm Blue."
Okay.
If you've heard that,
I
specifically
think
the
so.
quote where he says, "I'm blue, dabba dee dabba die, dabba dee dabba die, dabba dee da," but and then it cuts off because you
And
only
you
get
ran
60
out.
characters.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
that's pretty profound. I think
in
I
the
think that's a much more sustainable approach as well. When you're thinking about maybe can I borrow some of this? Can I um, act more as a kind of a tastemaker of Instagram notes, bringing
tastemaker,
together different ideas and different quotes and
sure.
whatnot.
I totally get that, but I also feel like it's cheating because
Okay.
I'm just taking lyrics from random songs.
Hey, you know what they say? Good noters, good noters copy, great noters steal.
I
And
have heard that.
uh, so I mean, I would say you haven't gone far enough, frankly. But anyway,
I'm trying to remember what I put before. I put movie quotes as well. Also feels like cheating.
okay,
But
sure,
then I think one time I just counted up to 10, or maybe it
sure.
was 11. however many characters I had.
Yeah, I can't remember how high I counted that day. I think I've gotten up to
Um,
13 in the past off of Instagram, but
I'll have to look. One sec.
yeah, if there's any like people responding to you, because basically, so you get these notes from people and then you can respond to them, and it kind of sparks a dialogue. I really like the idea, and yet I haven't really taken advantage of it. I have taken
Sure.
advantage on the recipient side, on the note receiver, and I hit up some guy I haven't talked to in years. I mean, since high school. He's probably like, I don't even know he was following me, but he said that he liked crunchy peanut butter more than creamy, and felt like that. I just wanted to weigh in on that. So,
What was your response to that?
well, it was more of a question. It was more kind of a
What is wrong with
scientific. Yeah. Did you get raised by wolves, or
Sure.
what? What are we dealing with?
Yeah. Was this a nature versus nurture situation?
Right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We should send me your 23andMe results and we can compare. Um, no, it was more of a question, kind of a scientific experiment of sorts, or maybe a more social experiment is better. I asked him if he liked pulpy juices, because I feel like there's a correlation there between, because this was something that I had talked about with people that day. And then he put it, so I'm like, I have to ask. And I think he said yes. So I
Do you
I
think
can't
there's a
remember
link
though.
between people that like pulpy juices and people that like crunchy peanut butter?
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally they're the same, right?
Sort of a positive growth
It's,
relationship.
yeah, you have kind of whole pieces of the real thing in and amongst the juicy thing. I don't know if you can call peanut butter a juice. In fact,
I
I
don't
think I
think you
know the
can.
answer, and it's no. But I think peanut butter is similar to juice in that it comes from the peanut, but then you leave some peanuts in there as well.
Sure.
With the juice, the juice comes from the pulp, and then you leave some in there.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I think there's more things that haven't been explored, but I was trying to do kind of a one independent variable at a time kind of situation. I'd like to explore similarly jam and jelly. Now I think that's a little bit different, but we can talk about that at a later point.
Do you like crunchy peanut butter?
I
You
prefer
just
creamy.
for creamy? I
Yeah,
also do.
yeah,
We've talked about smoothies before.
sure.
It's really just following that same line for me. I don't want
Uh,
crunch. I don't want peanuts in my. I mean,
I don't think it does.
when you say you don't want peanuts in your peanut butter, people will call you crazy. But
Say
but
that's just butter. That is just
yeah.
butter, actually.
But what I mean is, I don't want peanut chunks in my peanut butter. At that point, I'll just eat
Ooh,
peanuts.
sure, and I like
Do
to
you
do
get
that as
that?
well. But I think I don't know that I don't know that you have your point here, in that you are
What do you mean?
anti-smoothie. You're anti-smoothie, but uh pro creamy peanut butter.
Yeah.
It seems like, I don't know. I don't.
I mean,
If I don't think there's actually a correlation between the smoothie and the creamy crunchy
I
debate,
didn't say it was.
unless
I didn't say there was a correlation. I said we're following the same line of reasoning.
I don't know that we are though. Are we?
I think we are. If when you have chunky peanut butter, you're taking two different sort of states of matter. I don't know. That's not the right word at all. That's not the right phrase. You're taking two different states of food
Yeah.
and combining them into
Yes.
one condiment? Question mark.
But they're separate states, and even in the
Yeah,
combination, they're separate. With a smoothie, it's not. You end up with one state of liquid or pseudo liquid or whatever you want
I
to call it.
guess, but at the same time,
Like, I see what you're saying. You're combining liquids and solids together, but that's what you're doing with creamy peanut butter.
yeah, but creamy peanut butter isn't like I don't know. I don't know. It's not like it wasn't never a solid to begin with. It was
Yeah, it was.
well, it was
Peanuts.
butter. It was peanuts and butter
Okay.
that were combined to
I
make
don't know
something
if that's actually how
entirely
that's
different.
made. To be fair, I don't know. Do you just combine peanuts and butter for
I
peanut
don't know.
butter?
I don't
I
know.
doubt it,
I
but
have no
maybe,
idea.
maybe.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I totally lost what point I was trying to make
You
with
lost.
this.
You lost the argument. Is what you're trying to
Yeah.
say.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay.
I would
Okay.
definitely agree with that as well. I definitely did.
Yeah.
What was the other thing? The pulpy juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also a big no go for
Big
me.
no go for you.
I'm
I mean,
not
it's
sure
been a
why I would
while.
want to eat that.
Yeah. Yeah, and the fact that you said eat is kind of an indicator there because
Well, yeah, because it's not a liquid. You're just eating
uh,
food with your liquid at that point.
yeah, I
That's, I
guess
think,
so.
why I don't like chunky peanut butter either.
Because you're eating with your liquid. How liquid? What kind of peanut butter are you getting? Yeah. No, I mean
I don't want to.
I
I
feel that.
don't think I should have to chew peanut butter at any point. Maybe that's what I want to say. And I'm not sure that you need to with chunky peanut butter, but maybe at some point, if you
I mean,
get
I think you.
too.
I would actually say you need to chew creamy peanut butter because you don't just swallow it like a pill. Like what are you doing with
Well,
creamy
what are
peanut
you
butter?
eating with it?
Just eating it plain.
You're just eating peanut butter.
I've done it. I went
I
through
know
that
you've done
jar.
it. We talked about that
I've done it
before,
before.
but
I'll
yeah,
do it again.
I gotta
Don't
reiterate.
test me.
That's not like, I mean, it's not the most uncommon thing, but it's also not the most common thing either.
What's the most uncommon thing you can do with creamy peanut
I'm
butter? I
saying
mean,
in the hypothetical situation
yeah.
where I had to just eat peanut butter, like what you did,
Yeah.
then I would prefer to minimize the amount of chewing I'd have to do.
What if you blend it up in a smoothie? How about that? Then you would have no chewing required. Then you're
Then
good.
I've just thrown it away. I'm not eating that again with eating because smoothies.
I don't know. I don't completely understand where you're coming from.
I don't
But I'm just
either.
gonna
I
say
don't
it.
even know what we're talking about anymore.
I'm just gonna say it. I think you've got some cognitive dissonance on your hands, and I think you should do some self reflection
I'm
on
sure
that.
I do.
I'm really trying to woo you on this. I'm being sponsored by Big Smoothie, and
Apparently,
that's really my ultimate
also
goal
big
here.
peanut butter, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Big creamy peanut butter. But anyway, so Instagram notes.
That's what we were talking about.
That's where
when
we
this
came from
conversation
there.
started.
That's where we came
Somehow.
from there. Anyway,
Well, I gotta ask you.
yeah,
Episode 34. We're on.
not quite 33.
33.
Almost at it. Yeah, we are on the palindrome episode, if you
I
could call
think
it that. I don't know if it's
yes. I think
validly.
what happens with the episode numbers
Mhm.
is I write down in my notebook,
Mhm.
record episode 33.
Yeah.
But then I don't remember if I've checked it off or not.
Yeah, and like, was that from last week? And I like it's just kind of carrying over, that sort of thing. I absolutely feel that. My notes had episode 31 on there just a couple minutes ago, so I had to update that. But anyway, yes, 33. Really one of the better ones to have. Yes, I would say so. Yeah.
Did you see the new horror movie that came out?
I haven't seen any more horror movies, maybe in my whole life, depending on where you draw the line there.
This one was called Trapped in the Attic.
Okay.
And it came out a few days ago, actually.
Okay.
And I was actually the star of this movie.
No way.
Yes.
Are you getting on IMDb?
Yes.
To be
I have
seen.
now
Okay.
one acting credit to my name.
Yeah. Okay.
This is something that actually happened to me.
Okay. It's inspired by true events.
Yeah, it was based on a real story.
Mm-hmm.
I got trapped in my attic.
Yeah. Okay.
2 days ago, 3 days ago, maybe.
Wow.
And it was terrifying.
That's when you saw it, or
no? This is when it happened to me.
This is when it happened. Okay. So quick turnaround time on the movie then.
Really quick.
Yeah.
They filmed it all during that time.
Yeah. Documentary, really. You could say.
If you, I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the video, but behind me, that's the door to the attic.
Mm-hmm.
I was going up there to like watch some TV.
Yeah,
because I've got a TV up there.
Yes,
and
yes.
It's not like a typical attic when you think of attic. Like it's fully carpeted,
fully furnished, 2-bedroom, 3-bath.
Basically fully furnished.
That sort of thing.
There was no bathroom.
Okay,
that did become a problem.
That when you get trapped, that's something that they overlook a little bit.
But yeah, it's got enough room for me to stand up without hitting my head. So
well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, it sounds kind of like some people go for the man cave kind of situation. You're going more for the man treehouse or something of that nature.
There's no tree, and
yeah, well, it's kind of made out of wood, probably.
But
in that sense.
So
just elevated.
I go up there. I'd already been up there earlier that day. In fact, I just gone down to get some food. I'm going back up. I close the door, and the doorknob literally falls off.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
like it literally falls off in my hand. And I'm like, oh, that's not great. That's not good.
Yeah.
But this is a easily remedied. I just stick the doorknob back on, and we're back to business.
Yeah.
So I try that, and instead just manage to basically halfway push the other side of the doorknob out of the
You
doorknob
almost
hole.
completely solidified.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, well, probably don't want to make that any worse. So
Mhm.
now I'm going up into the attic and looking for any tools that'll help this situation.
Mhm.
So like, how could I somehow like pry open this door, or or really just get the other end of the doorknob again so I can reattach this and go about my business.
Yeah. And for context, uh are you home alone when this is happening? Do you have people in the house?
Yeah, sorry, I should have mentioned that.
Okay.
I am home alone,
No one is
just like the
around.
movie.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
are two robbers in my home trying to steal. My
Exactly.
family has gone on vacation to somewhere, and I've set up a variety of elaborate traps throughout the home.
Including this one that you forgot about, but
Yes, that
now
was my mistake.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm running through my list of roommates, thinking who could get me out of this situation right now.
Mhm.
So one of my roommates, Nick, he's in Omaha, so that's a no go. I mean, that's minimum 45 minutes. Also, he broke his foot, so
Okay.
it's gonna be rough. Gonna be rough
Stairs
all
are going to be
around there.
difficult for him. Yeah, that's not going to
But
be great.
we can make it work.
Mhm.
Other options, we got my roommate Nate. He
Sure.
is at work, so that's also a no go.
Gonna be a minute.
Um, and then we've got Boris, my third roommate,
Mhm.
and he's actually in London. So that one was.
That one's going to be a bit
I told
more
him, I
tough,
called
I
him
would
up.
say.
I said, "Hey, maybe charter a flight as soon as you can. I'm
Yeah.
having a rough time," and he
Yeah.
did not actually respond. He did not answer. So I don't know if
Yeah.
the cell service is bad over there or something, but
Yeah, I don't know if they even have it or not.
um, so that was the no go. I tried a variety of different ways to get the doorknob, and really
Different
just made it
techniques.
even worse.
Okay.
I said, okay, the only other person I can think of calling right now is my sister.
Mm.
So I called her. She lives in Lincoln, and she came, and within like 15 minutes, I gotta say, it was speedy.
Okay.
I was thinking I was gonna have to sit up there for like a few hours. I mean, and it's not like it would have been. I just told you it's a fully carpeted, like furnished area. I've got a
Mhm.
TV up there. It's not like I was living in the wilderness,
Yeah.
although I might as well have been.
Yeah. I mean, you had just
and
gotten some food, so you were
and
all
I just
fueled
got
up.
some food, so I wasn't hungry by any means, but
Right.
I did really need to use the bathroom.
Okay.
And
I was gonna say 15 minutes, so the bathroom really wasn't an issue.
I gotta tell
But
you, you know how you can like hold like needing to use the restroom, but then when you
yeah.
get near one, it's just like, oh, I really have to go right now. It's like all
What?
the entire time, the entire time that you weren't
Oh,
near a
okay.
restroom, you're like, okay, I'm fine.
I
But as
kind of
soon as you
understand it.
get within like a certain radius of one, you're like,
Mhm.
oh, it's all over now. Like I have to use this because it's available, right?
Oh, it's over. It's over for me.
Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
I
or
mean,
did I just
I
make that
do
up?
kind of understand what you're talking about. Yeah, I thought where you were going with this was, how like usually you don't think about it, but then suddenly when you can't use it, now you really have to go. That's where you were going, but
Not really.
not the case.
I guess what I'm trying to say is it's even worse when you think it's available to you because it normally is, but actually
Right.
it's not at all. So like you're in this location where you should be able to use the restroom,
Mhm.
but you actually can't anymore because you've trapped yourself in the attic.
Right, just spell it out a little bit more. Yeah,
And I was debating, breaking the door down. I didn't actually,
that's what
but
I was going to
I
ask.
could have.
What kind of steps, if Nicole's not available, maybe she's in Paris or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, what kind of options do we even have going on
Yeah, I mean,
here?
I've got some heavy objects up there.
Sure,
Also very
sure.
expensive, but I could probably.
Is there a window in the
There
attic?
are
Could you
windows up
could you
there.
climb out and then come back around the front?
There are windows I could have climbed. I could have done that.
Yeah, looking particularly suspicious to the people going down the
That's right.
the heavily
Kind of
trafficked.
a reverse break-in.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Um, I also, I mean, was the door unlocked or how did Nicole get in? Because I feel like that's very fortunate that we just kind of breezed right past that. She came over, but was able to get into the house.
so yeah, so
Basically, how can we get into your house, Ryan? If we
yeah, I'll
want?
just spell it out for you. She got in because there's I mean, there's a key,
Okay.
but there's also a code.
Oh,
So
okay.
she
Sure.
used the keypad to get in,
Okay.
which was
There's not
fortunate
a
for me.
key like maybe hidden under the doormat or in a pot somewhere or something like that.
No, no, thankfully no.
Okay.
But the code is
Okay. It is, yeah,
yeah,
easy to figure out.
yes.
Okay.
So she got in, came in, let me out. Um,
It's fortunate.
there's really there's nothing special about that part of the story other than that I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Just
then we
wanted to do a quick
reattached the
shout out.
doorknob. Then we modified it slightly so that if this ever happened again, it would be the other side of the doorknob that falls off,
Oh, well, thank
so that
goodness.
I wouldn't be trapped.
Yeah.
I would have no access to the attic rather than having no access to the rest of the house.
Yeah.
Kind of, I think the better side of the coin in that scenario.
Yeah.
But
You kind of get to choose you get out in front of some of the
yeah,
negative consequences there.
but that was, I hate to say it, probably the most eventful event of my week.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think, you know, going back to the getting into the house kind of situation. I don't know if you remember this, but Amazon probably a year or two ago, whatever, came out with this feature where you could have delivery drivers deliver inside your house.
Yeah,
So like with their smart locks or whatever, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is invasion of privacy, whatever." I mean, this could save your life,
place
frankly.
an order on Amazon. Say,
Yeah, exactly.
listen, I got the Prime delivery, so this is coming tomorrow.
Yeah, I
And
actually do I upgrade to Prime or do I wait
yeah,
7 days? I don't know.
I mean,
The
if they
1 day
really want to
delivery.
streamline it, just take away the delivery option as a whole and just say Prime, come save me from
Yeah,
this locked
exactly.
room
Yeah.
option. $4.99 overnight,
Mhm.
maybe, less tax, obviously,
Right.
and that could be a whole nother kind of line of business.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, I think this is something that they might look into, kind of
And I would have paid for it.
the life alert kind of situation, Prime
Yeah,
alert, and you get them in there and
definitely.
they get things going for you.
The worst part about it was it's like I should have seen this coming
Okay.
because the doorknob was definitely getting looser. And every
Looser and
time,
looser.
well, it was getting looser in a way, but I thought that I was fixing it every time that it was.
Oh,
So
just putting
I
it
would
back.
I would turn it, it would get kind of loose when I tried to open the other way. So I would then kind of open it, turn it the other way, and it would be fine.
Like you're
I
talking
think,
by other way, you mean like counterclockwise versus clockwise.
yeah,
That's that sort of thing.
yes.
Okay.
So I thought I was tightening it. Turns out, wasn't tightening it.
No.
Funny how
maybe
that works.
loosening it,
I
actually.
might
I
have been
mean,
making it much worse.
we don't
I
know.
might have, hastened the process.
Yeah.
Uh, in in retrospect, in probably future spect,
Sure.
I will be in prospect maybe.
Okay.
I will be paying more attention to doorknobs when I go into rooms, which I think is the
Yeah.
big lesson to take away from this whole experience. Really,
Mhm.
is
Start.
really
Yeah.
be aware of your surroundings when you walk into a room because you might not get out of it.
Pay attention to your doorknobs, people. Okay.
Yeah,
Don't think, oh, everything's gonna be okay. It's not
don't.
gonna be okay. It's not gonna be
Really,
okay.
the big takeaway is don't take your doorknobs for granted.
Absolutely.
You take a lot of things for granted in this life, but don't take them.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Don't take them off the door.
Definitely don't take them at all. Just keep them where they are. But pay attention to them. Give them
If
the
they're there for a reason. Okay.
respect they deserve. Speaking of not taking things for granted, I've seen a couple commercials as of late that I don't want to take for granted.
Okay.
Specifically because they're advertising products. It's by this company called Light Bulb. No, sorry, Bulbhead. Bulbhead
What do they
commercial.
sell?
Well, they sell a variety of things. It seems from their commercials that they won't be selling anything soon because these are two different commercials, two different products. One is I can't remember the name of it, but basically it's a magnifying glass that looks like an iPad. So it's for probably older individuals maybe failing in eyesight, and the
Mhm.
magnifying glass is not doing your glasses are not doing justice. You need, a full page,
Sure.
more real estate on that. And this is the first one that we saw. It comes up, seems like an okay product, whatever. And then it says, we are stopping manufacturing. So you're going to need to get this now. You're going to need to. And it's
Wow.
like, okay, don't know why you're advertising to try to get new people if you're going to have
Yeah, that's
no
not a
supply soon. But, hey, fair enough. I'm sure there's a lot of supply chain difficulties
people
with this
really
sort
didn't
of.
want this product.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're gonna stop making it,
You
and
need to
that's
get
why
it.
you should buy it.
Exactly.
Product doesn't work as intended.
Yeah.
Therefore, you should probably get it for yourself.
We've had a lot of 1-star reviews. We're being shut down by the FCC or FTC, whichever one is the right one there. So
I
you're going to
mean,
want
maybe if
to.
they're airing commercials over TV.
Yeah. Yeah. One of those. And then we're like, okay, all right. And then another one comes on, also from Bulbhead, and different product. Can't remember what this one is because all I could pay attention to was, again, same format. Production is stopping immediately, so you need to get
Seems like they're
your hands
having
on
some
this.
some trouble,
Yeah,
like
I
you
mean,
said.
it seems like, you hear about people trying to enhance sales by like putting a time limit on things, whatever sale lasts for 7 days, or I don't
Mhm.
know, maybe that's even too long. But I think it's a strange prospect to say we're going to stop making this, so you're going to need to get your hands on it. I feel like it's
Mhm.
almost counter to how it should go there. But hey, maybe
Definitely.
that's just me. I'm not in the knick-knack industry kind of situation,
Sure.
the TV sales market.
I mean, I've never seen this in a sort of commercial or even
Mm,
digital format, but it is reminiscent of those when department stores close down and they have to get rid of all of their inventory. They're just sort of throwing it out,
yeah,
and having huge sales.
the
Maybe that's
blowout
what we're
sale.
witnessing, but in a
I can only
TV
imagine. I can only
instead
imagine.
through television.
Um, yeah, seems like Bulbhead, they had a good run of it, but now they're kind
And
of
I
on
gotta
their way out.
say, I don't like the name
Yeah,
Bulbhead. What even is
Bulbhead.
what is that?
I think the
That
idea is
might have
that
contributed to the fact that they're shutting down. But I don't want to
they,
buy something from Bulbhead. That
I, re-
sounds like an
I
insult.
refuse.
That sounds like something you call someone
That's where the name
when
came from, actually. The
I mean,
inventor was called that a lot as a child. I would say from their logo and from the name and from what I know about popular culture, I don't know. What they're going for is, it seems like they don't have a particular niche. Their niche is, we make products that people don't really want, but maybe our niche enough to where we can
sure.
get some folks if we put TV ads on. And so they're trying to go with Bulbhead in the sense that, oh, light bulb, good idea, that sort of thing. They're trying to play off of that.
Again, I'm thinking like what you said. Somebody called this owner a bulbhead when he was a
Yeah.
child, which
Right.
really offended him, and he sort of tried to own it and take
Mhm.
it for himself and say, "Well, if I'm a bulbhead, then I'm a light bulb, and I'm going to shine bright,
Yeah.
and I'm going to come up with some great ideas."
Mhm.
It kind of trailed off at the last part and didn't really
Yeah.
live
He
up.
took owning that to the next level and made it an LLC or something like
Yeah,
that.
he has sole
Sole,
ownership
sole
of the business
proprietorship over Bullhead.
for as long as it lasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting for sure. Um,
In general, I feel like I don't know that these were on the local channels, but the local commercials, at least in Kansas City, very poor, very bad. Don't like them
uh,
like at all.
I
Uh,
mean, I'm not sure that the national commercials are much better. I'm
oh,
not.
they're better. They are
If you
better
okay,
than the ones that
well, I
I'm
haven't been
getting.
watching the local Kansas City commercials. That's
Yeah,
on
color
me.
yourself lucky on that front.
I will. There is a new commercial from Burger King. I don't know if you've seen this. It just sort of repeats burger, 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 Whopper, Whopper, Whopper over again, but sort of in a jingle format.
Yeah, they saw what
um,
happened to Liberty Mutual, and they're like, worked for them, so let's
I
just
guess.
pull this out for
And I gotta
ourselves.
say, it has been stuck in my head, but it only
That
makes me want to go less.
Yeah, it is extremely frustrating. It's a sad state of affairs where we're at in our society, where we're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna make a song where we repeat the same thing over and over again to get people to buy this thing. It's really quite sad. And can I just say, when Liberty Mutual's commercials came out, I was against it from the out front. You know, it's a slippery
Mhm.
slope from there, and we're seeing the effects of that now. So I
I also
think,
saw an article that um, said that Sony owns a patent for having a consumer watching a commercial in order to get the commercial to end, forcing the consumer to stand up and yell the name of the brand in exclamation to
no
then move
way.
on to the regularly scheduled programming. And I I am in fear that we're moving closer and closer towards that scenario
They've been,
every
yeah,
day.
they've got a patent on the theory, and they're like, we don't know if this is going to work.
And that, yeah, another thought was, how do you patent something like that?
That's a
It
great
doesn't seem
question.
like a patentable product, but
And yet they
they
did
did
it.
it.
The other thing is, how do you roll that out? You know, how do you get people understanding that this is something that they can do? Maybe this is something that we already can do, but have you tried doing this? Like, have you tried standing up and yelling the name of a the brand to get the
Mhm.
commercial to stop? No, I haven't. I haven't even thought of doing that. So I think even if you do implement this technology, you're going to run into some issues where people aren't even thinking that they're going to do this. So you have to say, all right, and if you want this commercial to end, stand up and yell Burger King 3 times, and then we'll order something to your door. It's
Yeah,
like it's
well,
kind of a Candyman
I I
situation.
was I was doubting after saying it. I was doubting if this was actually true.
I've
So
been there before.
because
I've been there before.
I'd seen it on Twitter,
Trust
like
me,
maybe
brother.
this was completely false. It is
Yeah.
actually true,
Okay.
but it turns out it's even worse than I thought.
Oh no.
So it looks like, so the one I was talking about, because there was actually a little diagram to go along with it. So it starts with the guy sitting on the couch, watching the commercial, and then the commercial gives him a prompt: say McDonald's to end commercial. So he stands up with his kind of arms in the air and says McDonald's, and then it moves on, right?
Yeah.
But it turns out that that's just one example of many interactive commercials
Okay.
contained within
Good.
the patent. So there's a few others.
Order a Big
Um,
Mac to end this commercial.
God, this
Enter
is
your credit card details.
very interesting.
What other kind of activities do we have going on here?
I'm looking right now. There's some reward points. It looks like they've set up a reward system where
Wow, they thought ahead
shouting
about
out the
this.
brand at different times, you can receive coupons via mail or
Different
email,
different audio
text
levels.
message,
If you can get your neighbors to knock on your door and ask what the fuss is about, then you get 50 extra rewards points,
an
which are
interactive
redeemable.
commercial where a viewer could speed up a commercial by, sorry, I read this sentence, I'm not entirely sure what it means. A viewer could speed up a commercial by throwing a pickle into a burger. Let me just look and see what that actually means.
What are we talking about here? What?
Okay, it looks like that's part of the interaction. So there's a camera sensor. So you have a controller in one hand with motion detection, and it's a simulated act of throwing a pickle into the burger,
Hmm.
and that
Okay.
ends the commercial. So it's sort of like a game, I
Uh-huh.
guess.
Uh-huh.
This cannot be
Okay.
real, but it's real.
That's
Um,
wild.
they have been too real.
I do kind of look forward to that, but also not really. The other thing
I
is
do
like,
not.
is it going to be time bound, or like, are you just going to be stuck in this commercial until you can end it? You know, where it's like usually you just
I
wait 5 minutes or whatever, and the commercials are
I don't
done.
know.
It's like you actually can't get back to your programming until you do this thing. That's
I
that's
I
gonna be
mean,
tough.
this honestly seems like something straight out of Black Mirror. I'm pretty sure there was an episode of Black Mirror. The guy was just forced to watch commercials like the entire episode to
Yeah, he
earn
had to make
points.
some. He had to put the pickle on the burger,
Yeah, yeah,
and
he did. That was the huge twist.
yeah,
I don't remember the name of the episode, but it was something like he had to, or he watched TV, but in order to skip any of the commercials, you had to pay money or something
yeah,
or something like that. I don't know. I haven't watched it. Um,
yeah.
but I'm just hoping I'm hoping in the near future I don't have to stand up and say McDonald's at my TV.
I would refuse to do that. I think. I mean, who? I don't know. Especially with my arms in the air.
That's true.
McDonald's, let's go.
Yeah, that just seems to really cement it.
I feel like you
Um,
would almost like it would kind of be easy mode if you had children. You know what I'm saying? Like
sure.
they're already doing that with the
You
commercials.
can just
So
lay back on the couch and just sort of get them up there and say, "Hey, do your
exactly.
thing."
All right, Timmy,
And,
do the McDonald's thing.
Timmy, it's your turn.
Yeah, yeah,
You're the
you're up.
McDonald's guy today.
Yeah, Maggie, you're on
And
deck.
sort of
All right.
trade off
Yeah,
each day.
exactly. Well, in the same realm, but maybe slightly less concerning, but still concerning to me at the time uh, that I was watching it. We had this was a local commercial from a restaurant called K Machos. Um,
What sort of food do they
Mexican,
provide?
Mexican,
Mexican food.
Mexican.
Okay.
K Machos Mexican restaurant, I believe, is the full title. And one of the key themes of the ad was they were saying your safety is our priority, and I think that's a great phrase. I think it's something that I like to hear. I don't know if I like to hear it with restaurants because I feel like that's kind of implied almost that I'm going to be safe when I go to this
Mhm.
restaurant. And
Yeah,
saying otherwise is maybe a little bit of a concern.
sure. Have
Um,
they had problems with food safety in the past?
it would
Physical
certainly,
safety,
it kind of
sort of.
lends itself to assuming that, I would say. Like, don't worry, we will take care of you. We have armed guards. We just
Sure,
really want to make sure that you're good to go. Um, that is probably going to move me away. Now, to be fair to them, it did look like maybe this commercial was made in 2020 because we had people masked up, they, distancing, that sort of thing. So I think that's
hmm
what they were talking about. But maybe making a new commercial would be beneficial to
sure.
them because I haven't seen this in the past 2 years. This is the first time that I've seen it, and it seems a little bit outdated. I don't know if
hmm
look from the production quality. It looked like it was probably kind of the same detail as a feature film in terms of the time scale there, but
I was gonna say you can
uh,
tell the year from the production quality.
well, the length of time that they probably
Oh, okay,
started in 2020, and they're like, all right, our key message here is safety. We want people to know they're safe in our restaurant, and it's just kind of getting released now.
gotcha.
Is my guess, but
hmm
anyway, kind of a concern. Also, another thing that I someone had mentioned on a podcast that I'd listened to was whenever people talk about your safety is our number one priority and these sorts of things, you hear it with K Machos, with airlines, whatever, and it's like I don't know if I believe you on that because if how do you start at safety and end up with airplanes? It doesn't really make sense. Similar thing here, K Macho, you don't start with safety. And I mean, I guess food is more understandable there in the sense that it actually does keep you safe to some extent, safe from starvation. But
Sure.
um, anyway, so
I
that's
don't
that's
necessarily.
kind of the local
Yeah, I
scene here.
mean, I'll agree. The messaging definitely upticked during the pandemic of the
Mm,
safety,
mm,
and I haven't seen it really go away since then. There's a lot of restaurants. Uh, I don't really see. I don't really watch commercials that much. I'm really on the streaming bandwagon now. I'm a streamer.
yes, yeah. Hey, there you go. Follow him on
So
Twitch.
yes, um, but I gotta say, I think for most companies, money is the number one priority.
I would certainly think that's even if
Um,
they don't say that, that's probably more where they're at.
so that's just always something to keep in mind. Also, it's funny that you mentioned the airplanes.
Mhm.
I don't know what the problem is with airlines, but they are just the worst at like effective
at
management.
flying, yeah, that sort of thing.
Did you see that Southwest like canceled like all of their flights for
Yeah,
like 2 weeks ago?
they didn't they skipped the software updates for too long, and then it ended up biting them in the back.
Yeah,
And then the next week, I think this was more of an FAA thing or something like
yeah,
that. But the systems went down,
yeah,
and then something else happened recently. I feel like I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm always seeing something about Southwest or American Airlines, and also always about Wells Fargo, which is a bank, but
Yeah,
they're always in the news too for doing something wrong.
honestly, I'm surprised that they're still around. I'll
And
say
at this
that.
point, if you still have an account with Wells Fargo, I gotta ask you, please go to a different bank, like any other bank,
It's on you at this point if you lose your money.
because
Like,
they do not deserve your money.
yeah.
um, as for the
Look, they've
airlines,
been around for a long time, so
they have.
somehow they've managed. But it seems like maybe they're kind of in their geriatric stage right now.
Yes,
They were thriving back in kind of the horse and wagon, horse and buggy kind
I
of
think
stage.
so.
We're in a little bit of a different world, and I don't know if they've fully kind of understood that or not. But
Mm.
hard to say. Last week we talked about Gershon and him kind of emailing us and
Mm.
getting kind of the spam warning. Well, I've got bad news, Ryan, in that
What happened?
I almost fell for a phishing scam this morning.
Oh my gosh,
Now, to be fair, I had just woken up, so
that's
I
not a
think
great defense.
that has to be taken into consideration.
Sure.
uh, but also to be also to be fair, but not in my favor. I
To be
really,
fair to the Fishers,
yeah, I should not have almost fallen for this. It was sent from, I believe it's my roommate's sister, who only has, so my roommate Charlie sends out these newsletters from time to time to his family, and I said, hey, can I get on that? And he said yes. So
but
now
you're not his family.
I'm not in his family. No, we are not related. Um, but anyway, so I'm on this email list, and so I'm guessing. I don't actually know how phishing works. I'll say that
Aren't
I've
you a
never
computer
been
science
in real
major?
life, and I also haven't done it online. But anyway, somehow they have her name or whatever, and so they send me an email, and it's I see it come through. I'm like, don't really have any questions. I'm like, oh, I wonder what she has to say. It seems weird that she's emailing me, but and then I don't know if you've gotten this one before, but it has like a timestamp. It says on Monday, January 16th, 2023, 10:58 a.m. This was sent, and it just says should have sent them sooner. Dash these two pictures, and then it has a link. And so I'm like, oh, I wonder, like, these are pictures of Charlie or something like that.
What?
Seems like a weird thing to be receiving, but whatever.
Hmm.
And I almost clicked on it, but the thing that held me back was the URL. It's this weird looking string of www.urfxv.ereamam.com. It's like, okay,
Of course.
I don't think this is it.
Hold on.
Uh,
Something's not adding up.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. I clicked
So
on
you're
this, but
telling me
nothing's loading.
if this had just looked like a slightly better
Yes.
URL, you would have fallen victim to a phishing scam.
Probably. And that's my message to fishers everywhere is you should probably
Step up your game.
invest. What are you doing? Honestly,
If you don't have a good domain name, what are you doing?
it's embarrassing for you. Like,
There are several domain hosting sites out there that could
exactly.
really expand your business.
I know a lot of things are taken at this point. Photos.com, etc. I don't know. But maybe just put a little bit of capital into that.
Could be anything.
I think it could be a huge asset for you because you could have at least my information.
You could have at least one quote unquote customer.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is
I really just love the idea of you thinking Charlie's sister is sending you two pictures of Charlie for no reason, unsolicited.
Yeah.
Just to you, sort of.
Well, I mean, maybe she sent them to other people. I don't
guess.
know.
Sort of hit it on the CC.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the BCC. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Look, I wasn't thinking about her motives. I was just thinking about these pictures, and I'm like, oh,
that I really wanted to see.
She should have sent them sooner. I think that's a sign.
Definitely.
But I mean, I think the other thing that's important to note, I don't know how much trouble you can get in from clicking on a link. I would think
some.
Not much. I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know.
Are you sure you're computer science?
I'm not confident. I actually switched to urban planning last semester, but yeah, I don't know. I just look, I sympathize with anyone who's ever been fished before, but at the same time, if you've been phished with that kind of link, I mean, embarrassing. Who would have
Really
clicked on
embarrassing.
that? Who would have clicked on that?
Just to your current employer and any future employers out there, I would highly recommend enlisting Nathan in some cybersecurity kind of
I, I've actually already been through
employment.
some training.
You've already
Yeah,
been through some.
yeah.
All right.
I
Well,
got
to your
my
current employer and any future
certifications.
employers, there's been some sort of failure in the phishing coursework
You might
on
want
their
to,
end.
yeah,
You might want
re-up
to update
that
that.
a little bit.
Um, every
Yeah,
job that I've had has had us go through that course, and I did not fall. I have not fallen for any phishing. I did
I
see.
haven't either.
I'm not sure if you heard about this, but UNMC, they had like a huge breach a few years
Oh,
ago with
did someone try
ransomware.
sending pictures or
Well, they should have sent them sooner, and
right?
so
Yeah,
clicked
exactly.
on them, opened them up, and apparently it shut down like their whole system
Mm,
with ransomware, and so they had to pay that off. But my friend who works at UNMC now, apparently they sent out a fake phishing email to
yeah,
everybody that was
yeah.
like trying to test them basically, and she
Test the
passed.
waters. Nice.
Passed it.
But like,
They sent a little congratulation, like congrats. Please don't discuss this email with anybody else,
mm,
and we'll see if
keep
they
it on
can
the
pass
down
it
low.
too. I
That's
think,
actually also part of the scam.
yeah,
Is
I
that
mean,
they
you gotta be extra careful on that one.
yeah, they say
Uh,
don't tell anyone else. We're trying to get some more
don't
people.
don't tell them.
Yeah. Do
But
not spread
maybe
the word about this.
I think that's maybe a strategy that your employer could end up using, just just in case to see if you've learned from this experience at all.
No, I mean in my previous experience, they've sent tests. I've reported them, I think, and to my knowledge, I
I
haven't wreaked
reported
any
all of
havoc
them.
on.
I also got a few other emails with some cool pictures.
Yeah,
Thanks, but
exactly. I got some sick new wallpapers,
yeah,
so we
got a
should be
nice
good.
nice new mouse cursor
Yeah.
and everything.
They say congrats on reporting the phishing. Now we have sent these pictures to you, and
That also reminds me of my my friend. Somehow he doesn't recall how this happened, but
mhm.
I almost guarantee it was from going to some random website
Okay,
to click on some link.
yeah.
Is that he got some malware on his laptop that just redirected him to Yahoo like all the time. Yahoo
I mean,
search.
that's an interesting advertising
And
strategy
it
right
really,
there.
like, at that point, I'm not sure if this was created by the company, but
Mhm.
it certainly did its job because he was using Yahoo for everything at that point. And
He just gave up. He didn't even go
I
to Google anymore. He just
he
sent
didn't
typed
even
in Yahoo.
realize it was malware until he was showing his laptop to us for something. Like, why are you using Yahoo?
I didn't even know
And
that
it
still
turns out
existed.
to be it was because he had this malware
Yeah,
that took forever to remove, by the way.
The
But
Yahoo virus. Yeah,
yeah. Um, just be
it's
safe
just
out there, kids.
it's right.
Don't click on unsolicited links.
No. Yeah.
Don't be a Nathan. All right.
Well, I didn't
Well,
click on
do
the
be a Nathan
links.
because he didn't
Thank you. Thank
eventually
you.
fall for it.
Be a Nathan. Almost click on
Don't
the links.
don't be as bad as Nathan. Be better than Nathan,
Yeah.
but at a
Here's maybe
minimum, be
better
Nathan.
piece of advice that I can give for everyone. Don't open your email right when you wake up.
Sure.
Just I mean both for your maybe mental health, for again avoiding
Listen,
phishing,
Your Honor, in
that
my
sort of thing.
defense, I had just woken up, so I'm not really sure what the problem is here.
And
But
you actually set off a bug, a worm that that caused trillions of dollars in damage and exposed, critical military information for our wars overseas. What do you have to say for yourself?
yeah, Your Honor, it was 6 in the morning, so
Yeah. This goes back to the phishing thing, and I've kind of asked this before, but I don't know if we've actually discussed the the answer. What's the worst that can happen to responding to a random text?
to a text message,
Yes, yeah. You took cybersecurity, so I'm assuming that you.
probably not like nothing,
Okay. Well, I mean that's kind of what I figured too. Other than like they would know
unless
that.
it's a push, like a some sort of push notification. But even that, like it, nothing.
Yeah, like I guess my thought was like maybe they could. figure out that there was someone like this was an active line and then start like bombarding you with stuff,
That's the only thing is if you respond, then they know that it's an active
then
phone number, and
they know you're there.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been like this is not the first time this has happened, but I got a message this week from a random number that was just, "Hey, hey, hey,
Hey, man.
hey, hey, how's it going? Hey." And it's like I don't know what to make of that. Like, are
Sure.
you just texting a random number wanting to have a conversation? If so, you got to up your game. Like this is not working. I responded to a random text back in the summer, but this guy he did his research. Okay, he set up the story. You know, he's like, hey, uh, this is I can't remember what his name was. This is my name. I found you on LinkedIn and then found your phone number from your resume on your LinkedIn. I'm like, wow, all right. I
Oh
mean,
my gosh.
that's quite the in-depth
Stalker alert.
note. And then he like went into this whole thing, and I'm like, I mean, you put in the work. You put in probably 2 paragraphs or so I'll respond. And we went back and forth, and then it devolved, and like he said, hey, have you played World of Tanks? I'm like, no. He's like, do you want to play World of Tanks with me? I'm like, not really. Is this an ad? I don't understand.
And then he stopped responding.
Is this like it? Yeah, I don't know. But with hey, it's like, who are you getting with that? Because even with some that are like, I would say a more effective strategy would be like act like you're texting someone in particular. Like,
Sure.
hey, Laura, just wanted to let you know I had a great time tonight. Not like that. But like so that you would get a response from someone saying, hey, you have the wrong number. With this, I don't know if they have the wrong number or not. Maybe they think they have the right number and they're just
Yeah,
trying
I
to
would
spark.
say that that's a pretty likely scenario.
Well, but you just saying, hey, it's like I don't know that you aren't trying to contact me specifically. Versus if you say, hey, Laura or something, I'm going to say, I'm
I
not
guess.
Laura. You
But
know what
I
I'm saying?
also I don't think that they're thinking of it from your point of view either. So I mean, you say you
Maybe.
don't know if they're trying to contact you or some person that they actually think they're texting. I would say they think they're just trying to contact some person that they are actually trying to text.
I mean, they're
They're
doing a
not
bad
even
job.
you're not even in the equation,
They're doing a
buddy.
bad job, though. If that's what
And
they're,
I
you
would say
started,
they are doing a bad job because they don't have the right phone number.
I'm going to hit him with a response. I'm going to say, hey,
Buddy, I'm not
that's
who
how
you
you're
think you
starting this
are.
conversation? Like, really?
Uh,
um,
um, I've I've gotten yeah, I mean I've gotten random text messages. I've sent them before on accident,
okay.
but that usually happens because I have someone's phone number and then they get a different phone number and I don't
Sure.
change it.
Sure.
So I text them and then they're like, but at least then I say their name, like, hey, whoever, and they're like,
Uh,
yo, this isn't who you think it is.
yeah. I'm not who you think I am.
But
Yeah.
I feel like I told you about that before,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
I had that one interaction. Yeah, I
Anyway,
mean, I'm sorry that happened to you.
I was just, thank you.
So
It was really tough for
he's kind
me.
of using up
Okay.
your messages, your data,
Yeah.
but
You think I have unlimited text?
at least you got a text message.
Yeah.
So
It's
that's
true.
one
I got a
on the year.
text. Yeah. I know we really we actually we 100%
We
increased
broke a record.
from last year. The resolutions
Nice.
are really coming through. So that's good stuff. Anyway, um Ryan, I think maybe on a more serious scale, I think my sense of humor is broken, Ryan. I've got an issue.
I've noticed that too.
Thank you for noticing. Um yeah, I mean, if you can't tell, I laugh a lot, and I think that
It's a
is
problem.
it's an
You're
issue.
too happy.
It's something that I've been working on, and we're gonna try to rectify that. But in the meantime, multiple times this has happened to me before, and I might have even talked about it, but it was a little bit concerning because multiple times this week, I I woke up laughing from from a nap. I'm napping, and
How does that even happen?
well, I don't know. I don't know. It's an issue. I because like it's not an issue for me. It's actually a great way to start
It's like the
start
best way
things
to
up.
wake up.
Yeah, the best part of waking up is laughter in my cup. Um, yeah, but it like if I'm ever like thank goodness I wasn't this didn't happen when I went up to Minneapolis and I'm rooming with people. Like that's
That'd
psycho
be
behavior
psychotic.
right there. It's concerning. That would
Very
be
concerning.
that would be bad. And then the other thing is like usually I'm like dreaming beforehand and something in my
I would hope so.
dream makes me laugh. And so I laugh I wake up laughing. Again, very strange phenomenon, but
Sure.
and so I'm like, oh man, that
I
was
don't
good.
I don't
And
get
then
it.
and then and then when I think back on what I was laughing at, I'm like, that wasn't funny. Like
So
the
you
only one that I
remember.
yeah. The one thing that both times I think I've remembered, I've forgotten one of them now, but the only one I remember immediately before waking up, there's something's going on, and then someone just says Brooklyn, and then I wake up and I'm laughing. It's I don't know. I
Yeah, it's not that funny. I mean, it's not funny
yes,
enough to wake up from sleeping
exact.
to start laughing.
I'm telling you, it's a problem. It
It
is,
is a problem. I
but
agree with you.
it's also
I
one
was
of the
making
better.
light of it before, but
It's yeah. I'm
it's
gonna have to
extremely
talk to my
concerning.
doctor about true accent, but
Giving you laughing gas or something.
yeah, maybe. Um, which laughing gas? Not a fan. Can I just say?
You
Not
already laugh
funny.
so much.
It's not funny. Yeah, I'm already on laughing gas all the time. That the real stuff is not. It's not even close to what I've got. All right. Um, but anyway, one of the better problems to have, but probably a
Definitely.
problem nonetheless.
I would love to experience this for myself.
I yeah, I mean I would say I wish it on everyone.
Okay.
Not actually.
I mean,
Well, maybe, I
I've
guess. I don't
woken
know.
up from fear,
Sure.
from
Yeah, it's like the opposite of that.
from
It's like
I
the
mean,
opposite of a nightmare.
fear. That's the big one. I can't really think of anything else that's made me wake up. Any other emotion?
It's been a while since I haven't woken up afraid. I'll say
Okay.
that.
um,
I just wake up afraid. That's the only way that I wake up, actually.
sure. I'm gonna have to think about this.
Think about it. Get back to me.
Sure.
What your thoughts are. In the meantime, I'll put in some work on my side. Try to stop the laughing at the source. Really, just cut out the laughing altogether is probably what's best for
Yeah.
me. So I'll see what I can do about that.
I gotta say, I'm very concerned for your well-being
You
after
are
hearing that.
okay.
Um,
What's your main
I've always
concern?
thought there's something a little bit wrong with you, but now
I'm sorry.
I'm. This has pretty much confirmed it. Well, please join us for episode 34, where there will be no laughter whatsoever.
No laughter in 34
We're
or
going
onwards. So
cold, cold laughter.
mhm.
Anyway, leave a comment, leave some feedback about what you might think is wrong with Nathan.
Yeah.
Something kind of deep in his subconscious or
Yeah.
whatever.
If you have any diagnoses, either medical or psychological, I'm open.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
See you.